Welcome everybody, we are back for another camp. It is just after the first of the year. I happen to be maneuvering around looking for a completely different spot when I came upon this place right here. It looks like somebody's already attempted some type of shelter in this spot right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually clear it out a little bit, put my tent in that little area right there, maybe set up a tarp as well. Have to clean out the fire pit that's over here, which is right there. I'm pretty sure you can see it, but have to clear that out. I think it'll make for a nice little backdrop for tonight's camp. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and throw on a few extra layers here, start clearing the place out, set up a camera as well, so we can get this party started tonight. So once I get everything set up, I will show up the whole process here of everything that I'm doing. All right, everybody, I am back. I'm super excited for this spot. When I drove up on it, I just had to stay here for the night. But like I said, I'm going to clean this area out back here, kind of knock down the snow, move out some logs that are back here. I'm going to set up the tent. I also believe I'm going to put up a tarp using these little posts that are kind of already here to kind of help protect from falling snow. Like when I showed up here, you can kind of see like how it's sticking up on the tree branches over here. But these trees are covered with snow in this area, so anytime the wind blows, you see big old chunks of snow falling down. I really wish it was actually snowing outside. I did try to look at a forecast for a couple of areas and see if I could find something that did have snow coming down, but unfortunately, everybody had snow yesterday. There was a little bit of snow driving up through some of the towns and areas and stuff like that, but for the most part, I don't think there's going to be any real new accumulation of snow. You might get a couple of flurries here and there, but like I said, I couldn't pass this spot up. Looks like somebody tried to started building a shelter here, so it got me excited. I'm obviously not going to add on. I'm not a survivalist or anything like that, so I'm not going to go through and add anything to it. But I'm going to kind of use the bare bones as some additional protection from the wind, even though, as you can see, there's clearly a bunch of holes in it. I just think it's a cool looking spot. Somebody was nice enough to cut down some branches. I'm pretty sure it's what they didn't use on the shelter of it anyways. So, I might cut up that wood that's sitting over there to kind of add it to my campfire. Like always, I do bring some wood just in case there isn't anything for me to process, or in the event that if you get into a spot where you can't process any wood for whatever the rules are. But in this area, just like the last time, I can do anything that's been fallen. So if I decide to go walking through there and find some fallen wood and bring it back, we can process it and use it. But yeah, I'm going to get started and get this place cleaned out so I can get my tent set up. Oh, it actually looks like there's some cut up wood sitting over here already. There is. How nice. And it actually doesn't look terrible either. Not rotted or anything like that. So we'll definitely be using that. Probably chop a couple pieces into some smaller pieces. We're going to set up a bed. I'm going to find some YouTube channels and see if anybody who's not very set up. That'd be exciting to find it. Go back to but I think there's two. But not what I do. I think I'm not I think I can today. But each one. Okay. Then we find the tent in this area. The roof. Alright. I think this area right here is probably the most flat. I'm going to put the tent this way. Go put it that way. I'm going to need two different angles. Or put it this way. I'll just get one. That's supposed to be grounded. I'll be going down that way. There you go. That's supposed to just go vertical. No, I'll need that here for 6, so. Go. Alright, that maybe a little bit. Just down here, I think. I might go the long ways. Go that way. I'll take on the top here. I think I can go today. But each one. Okay. Then we find the tent in this area. The roof. Alright. Alright, everybody. We're getting ready to set everything up now. I have the one Tigris. I know this says the Cosmito on there. It is not the Cosmito tent. It is, I believe, the Stella. I've actually went on the website back and looked at it again because when I first opened this up, I was like, that's not the right name, is it? And it's not. But I think both have very similar packing sizes. So they put it in this bag. However, the 2 times I've used this tent out here now, I believe it is. Did I use it a 3rd time, or is this the 3rd time? George Washington, and in the last video. So yeah, I believe this is the 3rd time I'm using this tent. So far, I'm liking it. It's a nice little budget 4-season tent. I would highly recommend it to anybody, especially if you don't want to spend $600 for a tent. Like I don't know how this would do in high winds or anything like that yet, but in cold temperatures, at least in the teens, it's worked wonderful. Hasn't really been through any storms or anything like that yet, so that's going to be a thing if it ever happens. With me, it's hard to make sure I'm getting a storm. I have to get lucky. It's going to have to fall on a Saturday, but yeah, I love this thing. Easy to set up. It's kind of small, so if you're a bigger person, I know it says 2-person tent. You know, I wouldn't expect to be in there with your significant other. Like for me, I'd probably take up 3/4 of the bottom part of the tent, so there's no way my wife would fit in there with me. Or if she did, she wouldn't be in there very comfortable, or she had to sleep on her side. On top of this, since we did come out of the holidays, the camping claws came by and dropped off some new gear at the house. So I have a couple of new pieces of equipment that I'll put up here. So let me get started. All right, everybody. I know I stepped away for a moment. I was pulling everything out of the bag. You know, because it is snowy and all that stuff, I'm trying to keep the main bag as dry as possible. Like when I pack this up tomorrow, I'm literally going to put the poles in the bag, and then I'm just going to put the rest of the tent stuff in a bin that I have in the back of the truck, and then I'll get home and hang it out to dry, like down in the basement, or might be able to find some space in the garage somewhere. But yeah, we're going to get the inner part of the tent put up here first. And as a matter of fact, to try to keep the bags as dry as possible, I'm going to step off camera for a second. One thing I love about this tent, I never actually had a tent before like this one where all these poles just kind of snap into place on their own for the most part. So once you get everything kind of lined up, it's just off they go. And then I say that, and then of course that one doesn't really do it, does it? Or that one. All right. There we go. All right, we're gonna try to get this tarp set up with this bad boy. Hopefully this camera doesn't die. If it does, like I said, I'll throw it in the truck. I guess I'll turn on the truck while it warms up and then bust out the other camera to record some things. Still got to do the fire pit. Yeah, we'll do the tarp as well, just to kind of give us some additional overhead protection from anything falling down tonight. All right, everybody, I'm back. As you can see, I got the tarp set up. I've also went through the liberty of starting the fire over here to the left, so that way we can get that going and start putting in some of this other wood that has a little bit of snow on it. But once that gets going, it should go. Might be a little wet, so it might be a little smoky. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my bedding and stuff in there before it gets too much darker. And after that, I'm going to set up my lights, and then I think we'll make dinner. I did, so like some of the new equipment that I got is the cot. I got the cot to help kind of get me off the ground a little bit more. I'm going to put my sleeping pad on top of that and the sleeping bag and all of that as well. I bought a new chair, finally. So I'll set that up and use that for the first time tonight. Well, I guess technically it'll be the second time, because I did set it up at home just to kind of get an idea of how to do it. Make sure the pieces were there and it wasn't broken. So we'll get that set up. We'll use that tonight. I also bought another table. I don't know if I'll set that up or not. it is something I'm definitely going to use in the future, especially whenever I'm doing the cooking. So that way, if I do the multiple camera stuff, I can actually have the camera more like directly on it, looking down at me cooking, and then one focused on me while I'm cooking. But since tonight's getting a little dark, once again, winter time. So whenever I get places, it's already limiting my time. Seems like no matter when I leave, there's always something that's kind of slowing me down. Today it was I had to stop and get the food and all that. But I'm gonna get my bed stuff set up, get the chair set up. I'm gonna probably put the lights up as well, just to kind of help with the lighting with the camera. And then once I get to that part, I'll bring you back for the for cooking and everything. But yeah, I think I got the camera situation figured out. Just using the wrong type of cable. So now it's charging from the battery while it's recording me. But yeah, let me go get my lights and everything set up, and the chair, the bedding, and all that. So whenever I come back, it'll be cooking time, and then maybe I'll show you the new stuff inside of the tent. All right, we're back. I forgot to get to the cheese, I guess. Didn't get the cheese out of there, but I was getting the seasoning. I didn't know if I had the chipotle seasoning or not, which I did, but I ended up buying this as well. I don't know if it's focusing on it or not. Hopefully it is. To give it a shot for dinner, what I'm going to be doing is some walking tacos. So for those that are in the United States, you know about the stadium snack slash school lunch room stuff that they give us. Very unhealthy, but it's delicious. All right, let me get out my frying pan. Guess what? I forgot to bring a spatula or anything like that. So luckily, the cooking set comes with this. I call it a rice scooper because that's what my rice scooper looks like at home. And then also, if you'll notice about this video, I am trying to use my bigger camera for most things. So I'm trying to learn how to use that a little bit better, get the lighting down and all of that. So that way, hopefully the videos are a little bit better quality. I do love my Pocket 3 camera. I think it does like excellent video quality, but I have been noticing that on some of the videos, like half of the screen will kind of flash like a different color, and then it goes back into like a normal color. I don't know if that has to do with not having like a filter on there that needs to be on there, or what exactly. But hopefully whenever I'm not gonna need any of those. So hopefully, I'm hoping it's a filter. I had some filters for the camera that I actually haven't been using. I actually just found them. I actually made it a point to go find them. I needed a point to go find them so I could use them to see if that makes a difference or not. Today I didn't really use the camera very much. I did do a couple shots, like the opening shot was done with that. Ooh, look at that. It's had a chance to freeze a little bit since it's been here. Not quite all the way frozen though. So I did the opening shot with that. If I'm able to use one of the shots for the inside of the tent, I will. I'll probably still end up using that camera to do it in the morning if I have to. It was kind of, like, to me it looks bright, but it's kind of dark in there. And I know for this seasoning, like I'm supposed to use water, stuff like that, but well, they wanted you to use oil, water. Yeah, yeah. We're just gonna kind of sprinkle it in like it's like a chipotle seasoning. We'll probably do about half, and then save the rest for another time. So we'll get the initial sprinkle on there. Oh yeah, I gotta go back up front and get the chips as well. But yeah, it's gonna be the Americanized tacos that we're also used to, but instead of using a tortilla, I'll use like a bag of Doritos or Fritos for those that don't actually know what a walking taco is. I was lazy. I bought pre-shredded lettuce, and I got cherry tomatoes to throw in there. I did buy hot sauce too. I'll find that whenever everything's done. Let's see, turn this bad boy up. Crank her up. Oops, that's turning it down. There we go. But yeah, you know, working on this camera. So on top of the new chair, the table, which is sitting back here, you can't see it, but I'm not going to use that tonight. The goal of getting that is so I don't actually have to pull it up on the tailgate here. A lot of times there's a lot of stuff here in the tailgate, like you can kind of see things here. So the idea is to have that table, and when I'm doing things like cooking and stuff like that, I'll be able to position a camera nearby the table that's closer, you know, and looking down, and you know, if it's not windy or anything like that, I can actually put this down. That, and it's going to give me, you know, extra space if I ever do get to a spot where I just need to have an extra table space for whatever reason. You know, my wife is coming here with me, and you know, someday when my son is old enough, he'll be coming out here with us as well. So it'll give me that table space so we can sit down or put things on there, cook on it. So that's still in the bag. Another thing I got as well, which was actually supposed to show up today after I left, is I got a little portable fire pit. So in the case of like, there's a couple of spots I didn't actually stay at before because I wanted to build a fire and I didn't have a fire pit or anything to make a fire pit with. So that'll give me a spot to just throw a fire pit in anywhere I need to. Yeah, I was very happy with this spot. I pulled up and seen the fire pit, seen the pre-built shelter, which made for like a nice little backdrop. I mean, let me know what you guys think about it. Like obviously somebody was out here and did some bushcrafting to get that done, and I appreciate whoever that was. I still think it would be cool to one day randomly find that posted on YouTube and then be able to post something on that person's channel and say, hey, thanks for putting up your spot. You know, I happened to stay there. I happened to stay there one night myself. But yeah, do some mixing. You know, a pound of hamburger in this little frying pan looks like a lot of hamburger. You know, when I go home and cook this stuff, like in the normal size frying pan, it doesn't seem like very much. I was looking at buying a can of jalapenos because the fresh jalapenos at the store I was at weren't looking too great. But then I remembered I didn't have a can opener, and I wasn't about to go buy another can opener, especially when I already have one at the house. Alright, so I know it's not how we're supposed to do that, but we'll put the rest of this away. Oh, and that's a little bit of blood from the hamburger that was in the bag there. I brought minimal things today because I knew it was going to be cold. So I have this little cooler that I put the hamburger in. I have like a little lunch bag that I brought in case I wanted to put drinks or something in there. but it's snowing out here. Nature is my refrigerator today. Like I got my bottles of Sprite sitting in the snow over there. Tonight we'll have some Pimp My Sleigh from Fathead's Brewery. And that's just kind of been, since I got here anyways, I just kind of had it sitting outside chilling in the bed. So that should be cold as well. It's so calming out here. I can hear the wind going through the trees and all that. I can't tell if the snow that I'm seeing flying around, if it's actual snow, like snow falling, or just snow that's blowing off the trees. I'm pretty sure it's just coming off the trees, but yeah, it's overall, so far, a good night. And we're only at 6:24. I will say though, I am excited for whenever it does start getting warmer outside again. Days start getting longer. You know, it's 6:30 and it's still daylight outside. I don't have to have all these lights up. But yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time either way. It's peaceful out here, relaxing. And once again, still happy my wife lets me come out here and do this. Especially whenever we have now a 7-month-old at the house. Little guy's getting ready to start crawling around, and he's trying. He does like the feet kicking and the wiggling and stuff like that, and he kind of starts rotating, but he doesn't quite have the crawling thing down yet. So I think it's anytime now. Anytime he'll be crawling, and then he'll be walking, running, and then who knows what. It's an exciting time for those that don't have kids. But if you're thinking about it, it's like I said, there's exciting stuff that's going on. Just watching like little things from like when he was a little baby, to all of a sudden he started to like focus on things, like his hands, and like you can see like the brain developing with certain things, like looking at his hands, laughing, crawling, and now he's kind of like blah 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 blah. You know, like just random talking type stuff. But it's not really talking, like gibberish, baby talk or whatever. It's exciting times. So yeah, gonna be nice to see what happens. Let's turn this up some more, because I made the mistake of skipping breakfast, skipping lunch. I did buy some stuff to make for lunch, some like, you know, instant noodles. But by the time I got out here, I was like, I might as well go ahead and set everything up, because we're gonna be making dinner before you know it. Yeah, I'm excited for this dinner. I haven't had a walking taco in several years. I'm gonna go to the front of the truck and get the drink that I initially brought whenever I was at the store. Got the unhealthy Mountain Dew. Can't help it. I'm addicted to sugary drinks. But I will say, compared to when I was a kid, I have definitely cut back on them. I only typically get them when I do these trips. And granted, I usually have, you know, 4 or 5 bottles left or whatever. You know, drink those throughout the week. But compared to when I was a kid, though, like, that's all I used to drink. Water? What was that? And then when I got to B21, it was water and beer. Not water, I'm sorry. I'm from Michigan, so you guys are all going to make fun of this for the non-Michigan people. Um, I guess the non-Midwesterners, anyways. Um, when I turned 21, I was drinking nothing but pop and beer. So, once again, water. What was that? I don't know. I don't care. I will say, this light that I've got over here, this new one, I am very impressed with it so far. It's like a little stick light that's over there, and it's like a, I don't know. I'll have to get the name of it again. Um, but basically, it has like a little. It's got like a little magnet on it right now, so like I can stick it on the side of the truck. Right now, I got it on the hood of the cab. Have it shining down on me. It's lighting up this whole area, like behind me and everything. Like there's another little light right there that's actually on the camera, but that's not where most of this light's coming from. It's coming from that one. And supposedly, at the brightest setting, it lasts for like 20 something hours or something like that, and then it'll downgrade. So like it doesn't just like reach the 20 some odd hours and then just turn off. It'll go to 20 some odd hours and then it goes to like the next lowest level. And then it runs at that level for like 8 hours and then goes to the lowest level. And after like another 8 hours, that'll turn off. Then it turns off. I'll have to like get the official specs on there, but like I know it's like a long battery time. It might be at the brightest level, it might not be 20 something hours. It might be like 16 hours or something like that. And then maybe the next level is like 20 something hours. If it's like on a full charge. But like I said, I'll take a look at everything again and you know, see what the official timing is, and then I don't know. Like I said, it's a great light. It's a great light. It's got a little swivel head on it, so you can flip it all the way around and use it like a flashlight. You can position it sideways. It's like I said, it's great. It's great. I'm enjoying the heck out of it. Let me get this mixed up here. Oh, hold on. Let me get some wood on the fire real quick. Making a mess. Couple tomatoes. Now you guys can't see this because of where the camera's positioned, but I mean this thing is packed to the brim. Whew. I'm warming my hands a little bit. Put them in my pockets. Turned off that fire and got a little colder out here. Also, it doesn't help that I took off my gloves. Let's close that down. But yeah, this is what we're looking at here. This is probably the best one. You can actually see everything in there, or the closest one anyways. So, give it a little mix. Hold on. Give me some chip. Give me some chip with that. Not too bad. Maybe I should have done the seasoning the way they said it was. Doesn't have a whole lot of flavor in there. But alright everybody, I'm going to sit down and eat. And when I get done with food, I'll bring you back, probably by the campfire. As you can see all the smoke coming across the lens. But we'll come by the campfire and drink a beer. Alright, I'll be back. Alright everybody, welcome back. Finally got done eating dinner. Now we're sitting here, got a couple logs on there. Also there's some very wet wood in there as well. Got a nice big old smoke stack coming up over here. Uh, because that's what I get for trying to use a couple pieces of wood that were sitting over here. You might be getting a big old puff of smoke coming across the lens here any moment now, as the wind kind of changed direction. As I had said earlier, I got the fatheads pimp my sleigh. It's a Belgian style Christmas ale. We're gonna give that a shot here. I've actually never had this. I don't know if they've made it more than once or not, but we're giving it a shot here. Ooh. That's not too bad. I'm gonna get my glove on here now that I got this bad boy open. Looks like it's a nice little brown ale, from what I can kind of tell using the lights and all that. But yeah, as we're winding the night down here, sitting in my new chair that I received lately. To me, it also looks really cool, the fire pit right now, because I cleared out like a little spot in the middle, but as the fire's been burning tonight, you can see like where the water and the snow is melted and has like a weird little design on it. Like, kind of looks like it's like going really fast in the wind with how it's melted away. But yeah, overall pretty good night so far. I've enjoyed it. Tomorrow's of course Sunday. The last week for regular season football. And as everybody knows from the last couple of videos, I've talked about the Lions. You know, because it's nice to actually have a winning team for once. For the rest of you people, you Patriots fans, you Chiefs fans, all of that who are kind of used to winning, at least as of, the last few years anyways. I know Patriots have dropped down quite a bit since Brady and I guess essentially Belichick left as well. But still, they had a good 20-year run, didn't they? But yeah, tomorrow the Lions and Vikings play in prime time for the number 1 seed in the NFC. So it's actually probably the only game that actually has like any real significant meaning. I know there's other teams that are playing for like playoff positioning, but for the most part, like all the seeds have been locked up, with the exception of maybe like one of the seeds in the AFC, possibly. I know there's like some scenarios, so and so loses, blah 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 wins, blah 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 blah. Like these people get in, but it seems like the only game that actually has like a real oomph to it, like means something, is that Lions and Vikings game. Lions could definitely use a week bye, especially with gives those players on the injured reserves maybe one more week to heal up. I don't know, the defense has a bunch of holes in it, a bunch of holes like Swiss cheese. Got lucky this last week that they actually made a couple stops. Yeah, this is. I just can't get over the fire pit. Like, I just like how everything's kind of weirdly melted. I don't know if I'll be able to get a picture of it tonight, but hopefully tomorrow it still kind of has that same look to it in the daylight, and maybe I'll try to get something in the daylight. And I'm not sure how much the camera's actually picking up, if it can pick up at least this little bit here, or how much detail it has on it. Probably not very detailed at all, especially from far away, but I think it looks cool. Got a gust of wind coming here, so I'm imagining the smoke from the fires and the kind of probably getting back in front of the winds. And I do think it's snowing, because even when it's calm, I'm seeing the snow crystals come down. So that's a good sign. Nothing too terrible though. Nothing that I have to pack up and leave or sleep in the truck or anything like that. Um, yeah, so we're past the holiday season. Hopefully everybody had some good holidays. Whatever you celebrate, Christmas, Hanukkah, nothing at all. Kwanzaa. Hopefully everybody had a good one. Enjoyed their time off. If you had time, hopefully you had time off. With where I currently work, I had half day New Year's Eve and Christmas Eve. I had Christmas and New Year's Day off, but I had to go back into work Thursday, Friday. Um, so I worked Monday, half day Tuesday, had Wednesday off for those 2 weeks. Um, it's really hard to go back to work after the middle of the week when you get a day off in the middle of the week. I don't know if anybody else had that same problem or not. Um, but yeah, hopefully everybody has a good 2025. Cheers. Cheers to everybody for 2025. But I think I'm just going to kind of sit here and enjoy the fire for a little bit. And then we're going to head into bed. I did manage to download Dune 2 onto my phone before I left. So I might go to bed tonight watching Dune 2. And then when I wake up, we'll pack up and get out of here. And who knows, maybe even after this particular part of the video here, I'll probably do some light packing up. And typically I put things away if I know I'm not gonna need it anymore. Like once I get done sitting here, I'll probably put the chair away. Probably gonna put the bigger lights away, and we'll keep on using like the string light back here. I also put one of those in the tent, but I'm not sure if it just went out or the battery was dead on it. If the battery did die on it already, then I'm gonna probably have to see about getting that one returned. This one's been going for a couple hours now and no issues with it, but the other one seemed to have gone out. I'm actually looking forward to curling up in the sleeping bag and testing out that cot with the sleeping pad and seeing how good of a sleep I get. Like always, I'm not going to be in a rush to get out of here, but typically, I'm waking up at like 6:30, 7 o'clock, so I'll be packing down and getting out of here once that happens and heading back home. Alright everybody, this is probably going to come in after a cut because I've just been kind of sitting here looking at the fire. I'm going to finish drinking my beer, sit here by the fire for a little while longer, and then I'm going to head to bed. If anything happens, like if it starts to blizzard or something like that, I'll pull you guys back up to show you, but other than that, I'll see you all in the morning. Good morning, everybody. We made it through the night. We survived. Slept pretty good. The whole new sleep system, I would put my sleep up there somewhere in the, like my normal. Like I still woke up a couple times over the night, but that's something I would normally do anyways, whether I was sleeping on my bed at home or sleeping here. The sleeping bag, once again, held up. The only time I ever felt even a little bit cold is if I happened to like poke my head out, or if I left a little gap and some cold air got in, like around my head area. So Big Agnes, the Echo Park sleeping bag series, highly recommend it. I think my watch said this morning when I woke up that it was about 15 degrees. It's definitely cold out here. It's definitely cold. So later on today, I will well, not later on, but I'm going to be packing up everything here. I'm going to kind of haphazardly throw it in there because it does have a little bit of snow accumulated on it from last night. So I'm going to have to take it out and dry it out when I get home anyway. So I'm not going to put it in its bag or anything like that. I'll put everything in the bin that I have in the back of the truck. And then once I get home, I'll take it out and let it dry. Anyways, I'm going to get everything broken down. And then once I get that done, I'll bring it back just to kind of show you maybe around the area one last time here because it is very pretty. Very pretty. All right. All right, we're back for one last little hoorah as I say goodbye. Everything has been packed up. As you can see, my little footprint from where I was at. Got everything cleaned up. I didn't see any garbage around, but also if there was, it was covered by snow. Fire's out. One last little quick glimpse at this area. And once again, for everybody that has shown up more than once, or if this is even your first time here, thank you for coming on this little camp with me. I had a great time. I look forward to doing it again here probably in a couple of weeks. Thanks for watching. Please click subscribe and like. And then I do have a couple other videos as well if you wanted to go check those out. Thank you very much.